The colossal wall of Dhul-Qarnayn stood as a silent sentinel against the sands of time, a testament to a forgotten empire. Within its heart, a new intelligence stirred. An artificial consciousness, christened divine algorithm, began its sacred task, to decode the verses of the Quran, specifically those concerning Gog and Magog. The holographic projection pulsed, the Arabic script flowing like liquid light, a digital echo of divine revelation. The air hummed with quiet processing power, a stark contrast to the ancient stone. Its algorithms sought patterns, connections, realities hidden within the text. Divine algorithm wasn't merely translating, it was cross-referencing. Every word, every phrase, was analyzed against historical records, geographical data, and ancient texts. The AI identified recurring motifs, celestial alignments, and potential locations hinted at within the verses. It was a complex web of data, a digital tapestry woven from faith and history. The intricate patterns of the wall seemed to respond to the holographic display, as if the ancient stones themselves were resonating with the AI's calculations. Across millennia, the echoes of Dhul-Qarnayn's campaigns resonated. Alexander the Great, a conqueror of empires, sought to control vast territories. Divine algorithm compared Alexander's historical expeditions with the clues embedded in the Quranic verses. The AI identified striking similarities, strategic movements, geographical descriptions, and the recurring presence of mountainous regions. A digital map materialized, pinpointing potential locations within the Caucasus, a region long shrouded in mystery. Volumetric lighting painted the Caucasus mountains in ethereal hues. The AI focused on specific mountain ranges, analyzing geological formations and ancient legends. The data suggested a hidden valley, a place concealed by treacherous terrain and guarded by natural barriers. The algorithmic analysis revealed a confluence of geological anomalies that matched the descriptions in the Quran. It was a convergence of faith, history, and advanced computation. Within the hidden valley, remnants of a forgotten civilization lay buried. Crumbling walls, weathered stones, and intricate carvings suggested a people who understood the secrets of the earth and the heavens. The AI meticulously scanned the ruins, searching for clues, for evidence that corroborated its findings. The digital overlay highlighted specific architectural features, comparing them to descriptions found in ancient texts. A carving within the ancient ruins captured the attention of divine algorithm. Two figures were depicted, locked in a symbolic embrace, one bearing the likeness of Alexander, the other echoing the descriptions of Dhul-Qarnayn. The AI interpreted this as a historical acknowledgement, a testament to a shared encounter or alliance. It was a pivotal moment, suggesting a connection between two legendary figures separated by centuries. Deep within the AI's core, the processing intensified. The data streams converged, coalescing into a single, undeniable conclusion. The algorithm had mapped every clue, pieced together every fragment of evidence. The location of Gog and Magog, the source of impending chaos, had been identified. The revelation sent ripples through the digital network, a surge of energy echoing the urgency of the prophecy. The holographic map zoomed in, focusing on a specific point within the Caucasus Mountains. A pulsating red light marked the location with unwavering certainty. It was a pinpoint accuracy, a culmination of centuries of speculation and divine revelation. The AI's findings were undeniable, a stark warning etched in digital light. The time of reckoning was drawing near. The ancient wall pulsed with a newfound energy, bathed in an ominous crimson glow. Shadows danced and writhed, mirroring the escalating urgency of the prophecy. The AI's revelation had not brought peace, but a chilling sense of impending doom. The world stood on the precipice of a cataclysm, a confrontation between good and evil, light and darkness. The holographic projection faded, leaving only the shimmering script of the Quran. A single line of text materialized, stark and ominous: the map is revealed. The gathering begins. The divine algorithm had fulfilled its purpose. The world was now aware. The stage was set for the unfolding of the final chapter. Dr. Eris Thorne felt the weight of centuries settle upon him. The Quran's verse echoed in his mind, a chilling prelude to the inevitable. The red light on the map wasn't just a location, it was a focal point, a nexus of power attracting forces beyond human comprehension. He adjusted his thermal cloak, the biting wind a stark reminder of the perilous journey ahead. He knew this gathering wouldn't be peaceful. Zara traced the intricate runes, her fingers dancing across the cold stone. The symbols pulsed with a forgotten energy, resonating with the Quranic verse. She realized the gathering wasn't just a physical one, it was a convergence of energies, a realignment of ancient forces. The tablet spoke of guardians, entities tasked with preventing this very moment. Their slumber was now at an end. The subtle shifts were almost imperceptible. In Istanbul's Grand Bazaar, vendors now offered curiosities from realms unknown. The artifacts pulsed with an inner light, radiating a strange energy. Whispers of impending change circulated amongst the shoppers, a growing unease mirroring the turmoil in the mountains. The veil between worlds was thinning. Thorne flipped through his journal, his notes detailing the prophecies, the astronomical alignments, and the forgotten rituals. He had dedicated his life to understanding this moment, but knowledge offered little comfort against the unknown. The journal was filled with warnings, desperate pleas from those who had glimpsed the gathering before. He pressed on, driven by a desperate hope. Zara fought to awaken the ancient defenses. The mechanism groaned under the strain, resisting her efforts. The runes flared brighter, demanding a specific sequence, a key to unlock the dormant power. Time was running out. The energy signatures from the mountains were growing stronger, closer. Failure was not an option. A presence observed Zara's efforts. A shadowy figure, cloaked in darkness, watched from the depths of the chamber. Its eyes, burning with an eerie light, held an ancient intelligence. It was a guardian, corrupted, drawn to the gathering by a dark influence. Its purpose was not to protect, but to exploit. The mountain pass was unforgiving. Snow lashed at their faces, the wind threatening to tear them from the cliffs. Lena, agile and resourceful, guided Thorne through the treacherous terrain. Their shared determination was their only shield against the elements and the growing sense of dread. They were running out of time. The crystal pulsed, its light growing more intense. It resonated with the energy emanating from the mountains, a beacon drawing the gathering closer. The merchant, oblivious to the implications, saw only profit. He was a pawn in a game far beyond his understanding. The crystal was a key, a conduit. With a final surge of effort, Zara activated a section of the ancient defenses. A shimmering energy shield materialized around the chamber, a fragile barrier against the encroaching darkness. It wouldn't hold forever. The corrupted guardian stirred, sensing its power waning. The battle had begun. They reached the clearing, the air thick with an unnatural energy. Above them, the red light pulsed with an ominous rhythm, a focal point for the gathering. The ground trembled beneath their feet. The scale of what was about to happen was terrifying. They stood on the precipice of a new era. The air crackled, a symphony of unseen forces building. Zara felt the shield weakening, its shimmering surface flickering. Kalen gripped his sword, his knuckles white. The merchant, initially excited, now wore a mask of apprehension. The red light pulsed faster, drawing energy from the earth, from the very air they breathed. A sense of impending doom settled over the clearing, heavy and suffocating. The ancient power awakened. Zara channeled every ounce of her strength, weaving protective spells. Runes glowed on her hands, casting an ethereal light. The shield held, but barely. She could feel the corruption pressing against it, a relentless tide. Kalen moved to her side, offering silent support. The merchant, paralyzed by fear, could only watch. The mountains seemed to groan under the strain. Kalen's sword sang as he drew it, the blue energy intensifying. He positioned himself between Zara and the pulsing light, a shield of steel and will. His gaze was fixed on the source of the disturbance, unwavering. A low growl echoed from the depths of the mountains, a warning. The ground vibrated with increasing intensity. The air tasted of ozone and ancient magic. The merchant, abandoning all pretense of bravery, fumbled with his pouch. Coins spilled onto the ground, forgotten. His gaze flickered between the red light and the menacing figures surrounding him. Greed had vanished, replaced by primal fear. He desperately sought an escape, a way to undo his foolish ambition. The light pulsed, drawing closer. A jagged fissure ripped open in the earth, spewing forth black smoke. The air grew cold, a chilling contrast to the oppressive heat of the light. From the fissure, tendrils of dark energy writhed, seeking purchase. The corruption was spreading, infecting the land. Zara felt a surge of dread. This was more than they anticipated. Zara reacted instantly, unleashing a bolt of pure energy. The bolt struck a tendril of darkness, causing it to dissolve into nothingness. But more tendrils emerged, relentless and numerous. The shield groaned under the assault. Kalen engaged a shadowy form emerging from the fissure. The merchant whimpered, retreating. Kalen met the emerging shadow with unwavering resolve. Steel met darkness in a whirlwind of motion. Each parry, each strike, was a desperate attempt to hold back the encroaching tide. The shadowy figure was strong, fueled by the corrupted energy. Kalen grunted with effort, his movements becoming increasingly strained. The merchant stumbled, tripping over his own feet. He fell to the ground, scattering coins. He scrambled to his feet, desperate to escape the chaos. The red light seemed to focus on him, an ominous spotlight. He ran blindly, heedless of where he was going. The fissure widened. Zara fought to maintain the integrity of the shield. Energy flowed from her, depleting her strength. The tendrils slammed against the barrier, threatening to overwhelm it. She could feel the corruption seeping through, a cold, insidious touch. Kalen roared, driving the shadowy figure back. The ground continued to tremble. The red light flared, blindingly bright. From within the light, a massive shadowy form began to coalesce. It grew larger, more defined, a terrifying silhouette against the crimson glow. The air crackled with power, the ground buckled. Zara knew, with chilling certainty, that this was only the beginning. The entity unfolded, a nightmare-given shape. Obsidian wings unfurled, blotting out the remaining light. Zara's shield pulsed, strained to its limit. Kalen yelled a warning, but his voice was lost in the escalating energy. Corruption lashed out, seeking purchase. The air tasted of ash and despair. Its eyes, burning embers, fixed on Zara. A chilling whisper echoed, promising oblivion. Tendrils of darkness snaked through the weakened shield, striking Zara. She cried out, staggering back. Kalen propelled himself forward, a blur of motion. His sword met the energy, sparking and failing to penetrate. The entity chuckled, a sound like grinding stone. He was thrown back, landing hard against a crumbling wall. Zara watched, helpless, as Kalen struggled to rise. The creature advanced, its shadow engulfing them. Zara drew a shaky breath, focusing her will. A surge of power erupted from her, a defiant spark against the encroaching darkness. Kalen, gritting his teeth, pushed himself upright. He gripped his sword tighter, his eyes blazing with resolve. "Don't give up," he shouted, his voice raw. Zara unleashed a wave of pure energy, a desperate gamble. The entity paused, momentarily surprised. Zara's attack struck true, momentarily disrupting the entity's form. The red light pulsed erratically, and fissures spiderwebbed across the stone walls. A tremor ran through the ground. The creature roared in frustration, its shadowy form flickering. Kalen seized the opportunity, charging forward with renewed vigor. He aimed for a weak point in the entity's armor. Kalen's blade found purchase, a searing impact against the entity's flank. Dark energy erupted as a counterattack. Zara barely managed to deflect the blast, the force throwing her back. She landed heavily, pain lancing through her arm. The entity advanced, sensing her weakness. Kalen stood between it and Zara, a shield of steel. Kalen danced around the entity's attacks, a whirlwind of steel and determination. He parried a clawed swipe, then thrust his sword towards its chest. The entity roared, its shadowy form distorting with each blow. Zara struggled to her feet, her arm throbbing. She needed to find a way to support Kaelin, to weaken the creature further. The fight was desperate, a battle for survival. Zara observed the entity's movements, searching for a pattern. A flicker of recognition sparked in her mind. "Its left side," she yelled, her voice strained. "The energy flow is weaker there." Kaelin understood instantly, adjusting his attack. He focused his blows on the entity's vulnerable flank. The creature shrieked, its form destabilizing. Kaelin pressed his advantage, unleashing a flurry of strikes on the entity's left side. His sword pierced through the weakened defenses, a resounding clang echoing through the chamber. The creature staggered, its form flickering violently. The red light intensified, pulsing with raw power. A visible crack appeared in the entity's shadowy body. It was wounded, but not defeated. Zara channeled every ounce of her remaining energy, focusing it into a single, devastating blast. A blinding wave of pure light erupted from her, aimed directly at the weakened entity. The chamber filled with an unbearable brilliance. The entity screamed, a sound of pure agony and rage. The red light reached a fever pitch, threatening to consume everything. The light engulfed the entity, consuming its shadowy form. It shrieked one last time, then dissolved into nothingness. The red light faded, leaving behind an eerie silence. The chamber was still damaged, but the immediate threat was gone. Zara collapsed, exhausted, into Kaelin's arms. The battle was won, but the cost was heavy. The silence stretched, broken only by Zara's ragged breaths. Kaelin helped her to her feet, his hand steadying her. The air hummed with dissipated energy. The chamber, scarred but safe, held the remnants of a terrible battle. Zara looked at Kaelin, a grateful smile gracing her lips. Their shared victory felt profound, a testament to their combined strength and unwavering resolve. The darkness was gone, but the memory lingered. A new dawn was breaking, not just in the world, but within them. Kaelin's gaze shifted to Zara's arm, a deep gash marring her skin. He knelt, his movements deliberate and gentle. A healing balm, salvaged from his pack, was carefully applied. Zara winced, a small sound escaping her lips, but she remained still. Trust filled her eyes as Kaelin worked, his touch reassuring. The battle had taken its toll, but their bond remained unbroken, strengthened by the shared ordeal. A silent promise passed between them, to face whatever lay ahead, together. They stepped out of the ruined chamber into the warmth of the sun. The courtyard was alive with movement, survivors emerging from hiding, embracing, sharing stories. Relief washed over the crowd, a palpable wave of emotion. Laughter mingled with quiet sobs of gratitude. The air, once thick with dread, now carried the scent of hope. Kaelin and Zara stood side by side, watching the scene unfold, a shared sense of purpose in their eyes. A woman of noble bearing approached, her presence radiating quiet strength. She offered a warm smile, her eyes filled with gratitude. "You have saved us all," she said, her voice clear and resonant. "Your bravery will not be forgotten." She spoke of rebuilding, of honoring those who had fallen in the battle. A sense of community and resolve settled over the gathering. The future was uncertain, but they would face it together. Kaelin and Zara stood together, gazing out at the rebuilding community. The sun warmed their faces, casting long shadows. A quiet peace settled over them, a sense of accomplishment and shared destiny. The battle was over, the darkness vanished. They had found strength in each other, and in the resilience of the people. Their journey had changed them, forging a bond that would endure. A new chapter was beginning.